On your own from the age of 15. Reckless, aggressive, and undisciplined.
This is a rebellion, isn't it? I rebel.
We have a mission for you. A major weapons test is imminent. We need to know what it is and how to destroy it.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
What will you do when they catch you? What will you do if they break you? If you continue to fight? What will you become?
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. They finally dropped the Rogue One teaser trailer, so let's break it down. I've already been reading a lot of crazy theories that people have about Jyn's character. That's who this is, Jyn. It's an ensemble cast, but just looking at the trailer, it does seem like she's the protagonist, like the Rey of this story. And I like Forrest Whitaker's quote where he's like, what's gonna happen if they catch you? What are you gonna turn into if they break you? A lot of people have been asking, like, does this mean that she turns into Phasma? Just to be clear, this is set before the events of Episode 4. They're stealing the plans for the very first Death Star. As Mon Mothma explains, everybody cheering in the background, yay, Mon Mothma's back. They have a new weapon. They're getting ready to test it. We want you to find out what it is and what it can do. As far as I know, the events of this movie just lead into Episode 4, so it sounds more like a standalone adventure. We might see some of these characters again, but I don't know if they have any sequels in mind for them, because there's the Han Solo spin-off movie, they've been talking about a Yoda spin-off movie, that's what they're calling these anthology films. All the different anthology films will kind of jump around in the timeline on their own, so it's not like the next anthology film, even if it's a Han Solo film, will pick up right after this movie. But we learn a little bit about Jyn's origin story, how she's kind of someone from the streets. She grew up just like Rey. She had to learn how to survive, how to raise herself. She's a bit of a troublemaker in a way that Rey is not. I never really thought from the pitch that Rey was a troublemaker growing up. Both very capable, but the whole idea here is that Jyn is like the ideal candidate for being a rebel. Forgery of Imperial documents, possession of stolen property, aggravated assault, resisting arrest. All the things that Mon Mothma would be looking for in her rebels. We see her walking around the base. This does look like the rebel base on Yavin 4 from the original trilogy. And if you really like the tactile look that they went for with Episode 7, this is so much more in the style of the original trilogy. It almost looks like they traveled back in time to film on those sets with those props. You really do have to give them a high five for attention to details like that. There's even a little Gonk droid in the background here. I think they put a Gonk droid somewhere in Episode 7, but I can't remember where it showed up. Just one of those little Easter eggs that they're probably going to stick in every single Star Wars film. So always keep your eyes peeled for Gonk droids. When they say she's 15, that's actually younger than Luke Skywalker was in Episode 4. He was about 16 during the events in that film, and I can't remember exactly how old Rey is, but I think she's a little bit older than that too. Here's a fun detail, the actress who's playing Mon Mothma is the same actress who played a younger version of the character in Revenge of the Sith. In the time since that movie, she's aged up and now looks so much more appropriate for the older version of Mon Mothma. It's kind of like a reverse version of Ian McDiarmid aging up from the original trilogy as the Emperor to the prequels version of the Emperor. We don't know who Diego Luna is playing, but that might be because he's playing someone from the original trilogy, because unless a lot of these rebel characters die in this movie, they'd really only be a year or two older during the timeline of the original trilogy. Speaking of which, Stormtrooper armor, much more accurate to the original trilogy. The way they explained the Force Awakens armor is that technology, design has just evolved in the 30 years between the original trilogy and the new films. Classic Star Destroyer design in a very that's no moon type of scene. The shadow of the Death Star covering it. This is so beautiful. We don't know who this actor's playing, but you might recognize him from a couple recent things. He's been on Sherlock and he was also on that Tom Hiddleston series, The Night Manager. And then we get the reveal of Ben Mendelsohn's Grand Admiral. We haven't seen many Grand Admirals in the series, but he's wearing the classic white uniforms that you saw in the first Death Star in the original film, and it also means that aside from Darth Vader, he is the big bad of the film. He's kind of like the Grand Moff Tarkin, although you don't really need to understand Imperial politics to know that Grand Moff is almost as big as Grand Admiral. It's two different divisions of the Empire. Grand Moff Tarkin is more like the governor of several systems. Grand Admiral is just one of the major leaders of the Imperial fleet. Forrest Whitaker, looking really badass, he's playing a bounty hunter. His monologue is the voice that you hear in the trailer. You know, what will you become if they take you? This is a better shot of that freaky-looking stormtrooper that we saw in the teaser. They haven't revealed yet, but they could be Death Troopers, they could be Shadow Troopers. There are many different kinds of stormtroopers. And I like the moisture evaporator in the background. Very evocative of that scene during Episode 4 on Luke's farm. Kinda makes you wonder if they're gonna be on Tatooine, and there are some Jawas in this scene here, so we might actually see the planet in the film. But even if we're gonna see a version of Darth Vader, I don't know if we'll see some of the other original trilogy characters, like Luke Skywalker, like the big characters. Finally get to see Blind Ninja Donnie Yen. This is going to be super badass. I know a lot of people are wondering if he's Kanan after the Star Wars Rebels Season 2 finale, but I'm going to go crazy if he really does end up being a blind Force sensitive. Just like Kanan, he might have been a Padawan during the Purge, but he looks a lot younger than Kanan would be because Star Wars Rebels takes place in between the prequels and this film. More Grand Admiral walking through the wreckage, and then we finally get the reveal of, I know a lot of you are wondering if this is going to be Darth Vader, but Darth Vader doesn't usually wear a hood, so this might be one of the Inquisitors. Because the Crimson Stormtroopers are the Imperial Royal Guard, I'm wondering if we really will see a version of the Emperor and Darth Vader. I don't think that they would do the Emperor without doing Darth Vader. Forrest Whitaker looks kind of like he's sitting on the Millennium Falcon here, but I don't think that we're going to see that ship in the movie. We don't know who this actor's playing, but his name is Jiang Wen, just wearing some special armor. Probably another character that's helping the rebels, even if he's not a rebel himself. AT-AT's all over the place, just looking spectacular. And then we finally see Jyn in TIE Fighter pilot armor, so it looks like that's how they're going to infiltrate the Death Star. There are a couple things that are missing from this. This is supposed to be kind of like a team-up Ocean's 11 movie where they steal the plans for the Death Star. We don't really see them working as a team yet. We met some of the rebels, we met some of the villains, we met some of the other people that will be helping Jyn out, so it's really more of a character trailer. I think the next trailer will be more of a story trailer. But let me know which part of this is making you freak out more. Really, I'm most excited about Felicity Jones and meeting this Grand Admiral. I'm really interested to see if he's someone that showed up during the EU, but even though they kind of got rid of the EU canon, doesn't mean that we won't see some familiar characters, because the expanded universe did tell stories for a lot of characters that appeared in the original trilogy, but we really haven't met that many Grand Admirals in the history of the Star Wars films. Giveaway time though, congratulations to the giveaway winner, Joe Douglas. You win a gift certificate for the Star Wars DVD, the Force Awakens DVD. Just be sure to private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. Now that we finally got some information about Rogue One, we've seen some of the characters, let me know what you guys want me to do for my next Star Wars bonus video. And don't forget, there's an official Doctor Strange trailer coming next week. There's going to be all kinds of new Captain America stuff. Marvel and Star Wars are really dropping all kinds of bombs. In case you guys missed it in all the craziness, I did a Captain America behind the scenes video. You can click here to watch that, and you can click here for all my Star Wars Episode 7 Easter eggs. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.